welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Today we continue learning Hovot HaLevavot. We're engaged of self-accounting, chapter 3. We're still in chapter 3. It's a long chapter. And today Rabbi Bahya tells us one should make an accounting with himself of his involvement with other people in what pertains to the general welfare. A person should look how he is with other people and be worried that other people are okay. You know, it's not only about you. And so he says plowing and reaping, buying and selling, and other ways in which people are mutually helpful in creating a healthy society. And consider that he should desire for them what he would desire for himself. In these matters, loathe for them to suffer what he would loathe for himself. So we have a very important mitzvah that is commanded to us. It is ve'ahavta le'areha kamoha, love your fellow like you love yourself. And this is what it means. Really what it means is that if something would be hurtful to you, don't do it to someone else. If you call people or people call you and you never answer back, and you never answer to them, and when someone doesn't answer to you, it's painful for you, then don't do that to them because it's painful. So you know it's painful. So whatever bothers you in your life, like, okay, don't do it to someone else. Be careful. Be careful. Be mindful of not hurting other people's feelings. Be mindful of not harming other people financially, spiritually, physically. So an analogy to this is the following. Think of a group of people who set out for a distant land on a difficult road. And I'm thinking about Noah, which was last week. And they will have to camp at many stations along the way. And they have with them many beasts loaded with heavy burdens. And the people are very few in number, and the beasts are many in number. But if they help each other, the load is going to be much less. And this is what happened in the ark. Noah and his sons were constantly taking care of the animals in the teva, in the ark. They were always feeding them. They took turns and they took care of them. So when we take the burden of someone else and we help them out with it, it becomes less of a burden. And it says if they help each other in the loading and unloading, and the desire of each of them is to further the welfare and ease the burden for someone else, and they share equally in rendering help and assistance, then they will be in excellent shape. But if they are divisive and do not cooperate, and each one tries to further his own selfish interests, most of them will grow weary and falter. So a healthy society, a healthy community is a place, or a healthy family is a place where each one is caring about the other person. When another person sees, you know, my mother has to wash all these dishes, you know, let me give her a hand. Instead of her having to wash for 2 hours, if I help her dry them, it's gonna be 1 hour. Why not? So for this reason, my brother, says Rabbi Ibn Pakuda, the way he expresses himself, he says, for this reason, my brother, the world becomes wearisome to its inhabitants. The world becomes tired of its inhabitants because nobody helps each other. And their toil and trouble are increased because everyone concerns himself only with his own lot. They can care less about another person. If the other person is suffering, they look the other way, and they seek more than his allotted portion. And because they demand of the world more than is theirs due, and seeking what is not theirs, the world denies them their due and does not provide them with their share. So when a person is, let's say, stingy in the way that he helps other people, the world will be the same with them. It will be a reflection of them. And as a result, they are not satisfied with the world, and there is not one among them who does not complain and whine about it, because they seek luxuries, and the world denies them basic needs and grants them only after much trouble and exertion. We see this book was written 1,000 years ago, and what Rabbi Pakuda, Ibn Pakuda, is saying today, on this day in 2022, is applicable as well. It's exactly the same thing. You see humanity when people are so worried about their agendas, their ideologies, their welfare, and they can't see another person. They don't care about another person's needs, and they're so worried about having material extravaganzas, they cannot even come to get their basic necessities. And if they would be content with what suffices for their basic necessities, if they would be grateful to Hashem for everything He gives them, and if they would have strive to have common good and share the same conditions, they would overcome all obstacles. If people would help each other, they would overcome any pain in the world, and they would be able to attain every desire they have. Yet not only do they not help each other in their worldly interests, but they hinder one another. It's not only that they don't help each other, but they harm another person. Like if a person is gonna do a business deal and they want the business deal, they will say lies about this person so this person doesn't get the business deal. So therefore, my brother, says Rabbi Bahya, you should endeavor to acquire faithful colleagues and true friends. Look what he's saying. Surround yourself with good people. Go with people who really have your best interest at heart, people who care about you, people who want you to have a good life. They should be as dear to you as your own soul, and you should appreciate them. This is not the normal people. And do not, however, confide your secrets to anyone, says Rabbi Bahya, but only to the choicest people, the choicest of your choice friends. As Ben Sira said, many will wish you well, but confide your secrets to only one in 1,000. And as the wise man said, the King King Shlomo, oil and incense gladden the heart, so confiding in one's friend to earnest counsel. So my mother used to tell me, whoever finds one friend has found a treasure. So if you have a really good friend, really treasure them. Call them up and tell them how much you appreciate them. I wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.